Hello, and welcome to a review of Tomo-chan is a Girl. And we're on episode 12. Now, at the last week, with the whole funniness of Mitsuru being the Cinderella, and Carol being the evil stepmother, and Tomo being the prince, and June is a tree, I thought next week was gonna be a change in roles because the love for Tomo and June has. But after watching this episode, I gotta say, wow. You're talking about step up to the plate. You're talking about misunderstanding. You're talking about opening up. And with rom-coms, they do that. Now, Tomo. One will make an argument here. And I will debate anyone above when I say this. Tomo is literally top 3 most tomboy characters of all time. When we look at tomboys, tomboy characters are being slept off. Because if you were to ask anyone their top 5 greatest waifus of all time, tomboy characters won't even be on the list. Tomo breaks that mold in terms of like, tomboys can get the love. Tomboy characters like Tomo can get the love. They could be in a rom-com. That's the thing. I have Ryoko from Kill la Kill as 1. I have Revi from Black Lagoon as 2. And I got Tomo at 3. So when I look at this episode, and the things that come out of their mouths says it all. So I'm going to get right to it with Tomo-chan's review, episode 12. Let's do it. Okay, we kick things off with the festival. And we got to see all the gorgeous moms. The moms are back. Tomo, Mitsuru's mom and Carol's mom. And I said before one of my episodes when they debuted the moms, I was like, you know what? What would have happened if all the moms were to gather in one freaking table and talk about their daughters? What we got is that. Now, here's the thing. They left out a lot. I mean a lot of chapters from it, from Tomo-chan's The Girl chapters. They left out a lot. Because most of Tomo chapters are one-page chapters. They left out a lot. Like, Mitsuru, like for example, Mitsuru's mom was talking to Tomo's mom, and they left out like, oh, it's been a while, all that stuff. You know, they left out a lot. And then when they introduced Carol's mom, introducing to their moms, you know, they left out a lot. And again, they left out a lot from the manga series. But I guess what they try and do is break it down bit by bit to get that. But I gotta love Mitsuru's mom in this segment, because she got the camera. She got her camera because Mitsuru lied to her. She's like, this is punishment. I'm bringing the camera. And Carol's mom with her 2 security guards in the back. I'm like, why does she need that? But I get why, because she's rich and no one, imagine someone trying to kill her. So I don't blame her. So now we get to Cinderella. Mitsuru, they come in the little Cinderella. You know, we all know how Cinderella works. So we all know Mitsuru scrubbing the floor. Like, sob. She got, and Carol's mom hit a nail on the head. She got that revenge. She really got revenge on her. And that says it all. Like, that's the face of like, I'm going to kill these people. Even Mitsuru's mom, even Tomo's mom knew this was coming. Like, she knew. And you got Carol coming out, introing into stepmother, and her mom's like, Carol, son, like, oh my God. And then you got Tomo's father in the background, just looking at June, improvising, being one with the tree. Because in one of the chapters, he was trying to be one with the tree. So he just stayed there like the tree, like, because tree don't talk, they don't do nothing. He just standing like a tree. And then when Tomo comes out as the prince, fangirls coming out screaming. They come out screaming when they see her, like, oh, what's up? You know, they all came out screaming. It's kind of like how it's kind of like how in Bang Dream, you know, Hello Happy World, and you know Carol. When Carol comes out, all the girls screaming. So when I look at Tomo coming out as a prince, everyone was screaming. Tomo's mom was all fangirling, crazy. Tomo's mom like, oh. They left this out. I forgot to say this. They also left this out. When Tomo's mom was like, oh, she's quite the good looking. And there was one scene where Mitsu's mom embarrassed her by saying, they used to call her Andre back in the old days, back in time. But that's here and there. That's in the past. They left out a lot. So we got to see Tomo and Mitsu dancing, like the Cinderella and the Prince Charming, dancing. And June actually wanted to see Tomo as a princess because she would look good as a princess, no question about it. And then they kind of broke character at the end where they gave the glass slipper, the classic glass slipper. But it was all clapping like, Cinderella, Cinderella. I mean, you're supposed to be the stepmother and the stepsisters arguing and being mad. But they just want to end it with a good clap like, yay, they did it. And they ended the play. June courageously asked Tomo out to go around the school festival like always. Playing activities, going to a haunted house. Tomo showing her girly side, being afraid of ghosts, of horror things, showing off that. And, just them having a good time. I mean, they skipped out a lot of chapters. I understand people are frustrated, but I think they want to get to the point of the whole series, and that's what they're doing. So they got to the bonfire. I don't think Mitsuru could be... I think Mitsuru looking at her, she's like a little disappointed at like this. Because Carol is dancing with June. June, my bad. Carol is dancing with Misaki. And Tomo is dancing with June. And I'm going to get to that. Mitsuru just happy. It's not like she's seeing her best friend and her 2 days ex dancing. And I was like, was that an accomplishment for her? Was that the big deal? But I can imagine all you Mitsu fans out there who want to dance with her. We all know that's not going to happen. But it's that bonfire moment where Tomo actually sees June now in more ways than one. Because Tomo's like, people think this is wrong, a misunderstanding. But June opened up and said, this is wrong. He's like, this is not wrong. This is not wrong. And in that moment, that kind of just like hit Tomo like, what? And left. Then the next day, Tomo tried to play it off like nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. And then Mitsu opened up to, June opened up to Mitsu saying about like, I'm sorry, I love Tomo from the start. You love Tomo from the start. It was just to see how it was, And I like how Mitsuru opened up to June saying, was this your first love? But his flashback to seeing Tomo's mom boobs, that was kind of like the first love he ever had. Now, the rooftop scene. This is the big thing. I'm going to bring this up. June was a dumbass. I'm not kidding. This was one of the biggest, I know plot twists and all, but this plot twist kind of hit me. I'm like, you knew? It's like, going back to the first episode, guys. When I talked about this review, when I talk about the first episode of Tomo-chan, the way how Tomo confessed to June saying, I love you, June. And then June played it off as like, I love you too, best bud. And he was just looking at Tomo when he said it's like, I love you too, best bud. It's like, yeah, we're cool. I love you too, bud. Yeah. But it's like, after this episode right now, you finally admitted it? You knew she loved from the start, so that you knew. So it's like, you knew from the first episode, the first confession that happened on the Sakura Bloom Blossom Fest, at the Sakura blooming around her. You knew. You knew she confessed your love. He knew Tomo was trying to be all girly to him. And he knew that she has the love for him. And I'm like, are you telling me you didn't know? After 12 episodes, you knew Tomo was working so hard to show June that... After 12 episodes, Tomo has been trying so hard to show June that she could be as girly as she can. She could be a perfect girlfriend and trying to open up in many ways, showing off her girly side, doing all these maneuvers. And June didn't see that. But now it's like, After the first confession, you finally did it? You knew? If you knew that, then why'd you make her go through all this? And then when Tomo punched him, he deserved it. But the way how Tomo punched him is different. See, here's the thing. When Tomo punches Jun in the face all the time, it's supposed to be for comedic humor. It's supposed to be the comedy. The only time Tomo punched Jun seriously was showing tears back in middle school. Now in this case, it's the same thing. And Jun finally got the courage. After going back to everything now, he finally got the courage to say, I love you. And that really put a like on Tomo being all embarrassed, tsundere vibe. I like that. She totally embarrassed. And then Mitsu crying. And again, how rare for these three girls to cry. How rare. When Carol cried, you see her break her characters, all smiling. You see her crying for real. When Tomo cried, you actually see the tears. But when Mitsu cried, Mitsu is crying. For every episode we've seen, Mitsu has a personality of her evil smile, her nice smile, her evil Raven Wednesday Addams vibe. But the way she cried in this episode, she trying to prove to Tomo, I've been pushing you so much to be more girly. But you can't change Tomo for what she is. A tomboy character trying to be all girly, that ain't gonna work. But it's not her fault. So Tomo rushed to see Jun, and as they walk in, and as they were walking, Jun really does love Tomo. And the proof it was the race against the shrine, a race in the shrine. But with Jun's response is, I love you, Tomo, but I want it as a bud, a rival, and a girlfriend. In Jun's mind, he's like, I love Tomo as not just a girlfriend, but you've been my rival since day one. You've been my rival since the first day we met. And I want to keep that rivalry going as boyfriend and girlfriend and as best friends. Best bud, a rival, and a girlfriend. That's what Jun wants, because Jun don't want to break the bond that they have since childhood. And he also feels that if Tomo was to become the girlfriend and not just the best bud, it's going to break the bond. So when Tomo finally convinced herself, I love you, he fell down the stairs, and that's like a mission accomplished for him. He's like, yes. So I'm happy for him too. Now, with one episode left down the wire, I want to see where this goes. Are they finally going to not tie the knot. It's almost the knot tying, but are they going to confess? Are they going to kiss? I hope they kiss. I hope they kiss or start their relationship off in a good way, rather than just headbutting each other or starting like punching and stuff. I hope their relationship starts with them like holding hands or calling each other by their first name, all those things that makes the rom-com energetic, to have the couple finally say their first names, back and forth. But let's see where this goes. But anyway, this was a good episode. After 12 episodes, we finally got the confession going on, and Jun finally pulled like a plot twist, but he actually stepped up as a character, convincing his love for Tomo. And Tomo finally accomplished her dream for loving Jun, so now they both accomplish things equally. They both love each other. They both love each other as rivals, and as best buds, they still love him as well. So the bond is still stronger than ever. And especially with Mitsuru. Mitsuru's being opened up to Tomo, like the friendship will never last. It will never crush, it will never end, and that's what makes this episode great. Now, I get the whole Cinderella concept was pretty funny. It was funny. But then it dived into the drama, and that's where we got the more drama, and the confession was the biggest thing as well. So, next week is the last episode of Tomo-chan's a Girl. I can't wait to see where this goes in the direction of the last episode, but it's sad to see this show go. I had a lot of good time talking about this, and we'll see how it ends. So I look forward to it, and I'm sure you will.